Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2023, and today I want to talk to you all about Friendship Economics 101. And when I say friendship economics, what I'm talking about is certain transactions and dynamics that exist within friendships today. I've noticed that a lot of friendships are ending in 2023, and I think the reason for that is there's many reasons. But I think some of the reasons are unrealistic expectations about what a friend should and should not be. I think also the level of selfishness and narcissism that's rising, that is definitely a factor. Everybody is just focused on themselves. This is a me first generation with no regard for anyone else or their feelings, their boundaries. There's constantly boundary violations that exist within friendships. You tell a friend that you don't like something and they just continue to do it regardless of how you feel. So there's no respect. I think also another reason why friendships are ending these days because people really enter into certain friendships not based on genuine compatibility, but rather to quell feelings of loneliness, boredom, frustration. They're not really authentic. They're not their true selves, but rather they're this construct. They're whatever they feel they have to be in order to get someone, but they don't realize that eventually, that in order to keep someone, you're going to have to show your true self. You're going to have to make space for their true selves as well. So I think a lot of times it's this misrepresentation that happens in friendships, and ultimately the mask falls. Ultimately, you get to see who that other person is. And sometimes when you see their true, authentic self, you realize that you were never really attracted to that person. You never really liked that person. You like their representative. You like the false presentation that they exhibited. You know, I personally think that a lot of people, they gravitate to low maintenance friendships that don't require very much of them but produce high returns. So they look for low investment, high returns. Me, I'm a high maintenance friend. I realize that. But I'm also a high return friend. I'm a high investment friend, but I'm also a high return friend. And what do I mean when I say these terms? Well, high investment, which means that you have to invest. You have to be consistent. You have to be loyal. That's my requirement. You have to be communicative. You have to articulate your feelings. You have to take initiative. You have to try. A lot of people these days don't want to do that. So they hang out with people who are low maintenance, people who are low investment, and people who produce the highest returns. Why will they go to see that person and not you? The answer is they're getting more return from that person and they don't have to give as much. They don't have to invest as hard. They don't have to think of clever things to say. They don't have to communicate. All they have to do is probably just rest in that person's energy and just show up. And that's good enough. A lot of people these days just want a warm body. They don't care if that person talks to them. They don't care if that person actually communicates, and they don't really care. All they want is a warm body. I see so many people out at the club congregating in their little circles. They go out, which baffles me. You go out to the club and you just go out to just get in your own little circle. You could do that at home for a cheaper price. But okay, you go out to the club, you get in your own little circle, which to me is just a bunch of people that are just using one another as a shield to hide from the fact that they're alone. That's what they use each other as, you know? So they're just using this other person as a shield. And they know they really don't like this person, but they'll use them to make themselves look less alone. This person is just a warm body, a space filler, till what they truly want comes along. And that's the reality of friendships, most friendships today. A lot of times people are being used as space fillers. You know? You need to recognize the signs of when you're being used as a space filler. How to know when you're being used as a space filler? For one, the person makes no real investment in you. They don't make any real investment in you whatsoever because they really don't value you. That's the thing. And so this is why I am high investment and also high return, because I also want to give people something for their money, if you will. I don't want them to expend all this energy and it not be a rewarding experience for them. I feel that there's a mutuality, a reciprocity that needs to happen in relationships that's lacking in most friendships. You know, everybody wants you to do what they want and show up at their party and be present for them, but they're not willing to go that extra mile for you. So there comes a point when you start to take a step back, you start to examine the dynamics within your friendship, which is what I've done with a lot of my friendships. I've started to take a look back, step back, examine the dynamics that exist in my friendships, and I realized that a lot of times they are lopsided. They're lopsided, with usually myself pouring more into them than they pour into me. And then I have to examine my role. I have to ask myself, how am I contributing to this poor dynamic, to this unhealthy dynamic that exists in this friendship? How do I contribute? Because it takes two. You can't sit up there and blame the other person, blame the other person, blame the other person, because you're participating too. You are responsible for this dynamic too. So you have to take a step back, examine your friendships, examine how you are showing up to these friendships, examine your role. How do you contribute to this unhealthy dynamic? That's the key. So I think that a lot of friendships, as I mentioned earlier, they're looking for low investment, high return. And if you are a deep person, if you are a soulful person who requires genuine connection, love, and support, you will struggle in this current generation because people are not committed to pouring into you like they once were. What they are, they're people who are looking to get the most with very little investment. That's what they're looking for. That's our generation now. They don't want to give as much. They don't want to invest. They just want to see what they can get. I personally, this is my personal belief. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. Probably not. But I feel like this world is a going out of business sale. Everybody's just going for broke, snatching things off the rack, taking whatever they can before this world ends. I personally feel like this system of things does not have very long to go because I see the way the world is going. The frequency, the duration, the scope, and magnitude of selfishness is unsustainable. You can't sustain a relationship being that way. You cannot sustain it. And a lot of people, they're just going for broke. They're entering into these friendships and they don't ask, what can I give here? It's always, what can I get? What can I take? You know? So you bring them into your life, trying to foster a wonderful connection, and they're just looking at you like, what can I get from this person, as they snatch all your good qualities, all your joy, all your investments right off the shelf of you. So that's where you have to be also discerning. You have to be self-protective. You have to know and take your time with people. And I think that's what happens is we rush. Because of loneliness, because of boredom, because of unpleasant feelings, we rush into relationships, into friendships, and we really don't examine who that person is. We don't really take the time to discern, who is this person? Is this person right for me? We don't ask ourselves that. All we do is just Let them in. Come on. You know, we're in such a hurry to speed up the connection that we actually don't take the time to make sure that it's compatible with our spirit, that it's compatible with our heart, that it's compatible with our mind. We don't take the time. And then what ends up happening with these relationships, these friendships don't work out, we get angry, we get bitter, we get resentful. Well, here's the thing. We did not take the time. So they have that saying, only fools rush in. When you rush in, that's what happens. So my thing is this, you have to, for one, ask yourself, are you a high investment, high return friend? Are you a low investment, high return friend? Are you a low investment, low return friend? Because there are friends like that too. They give nothing, and they also don't really expect nothing. They just are comfortable with the bare minimum. And there are people like, casual friendships. They're just casual. They're like, okay, maybe we'll go a pizza here or something. They want nothing, they give nothing. Then there are other people who are soulful, who actually, they're high maintenance when it comes to, relationships. They require you to listen to them, be present, not have a phone pressed up to your face in the screen. They want to connect. They want you to attend in a real way, And they're high maintenance, or they're considered high maintenance, but they also offer a high return. They listen, they're present, they're considerate, they're there. Whenever you're struggling, they're there to offer not only soft skills and emotional support, but also practical support, tangible support. But that's the thing. A lot of people, they want that high return, but they don't want to deal with their role. They don't want to invest. And that to me is an inequity. That's just not fair to me. It's imbalanced. And that does not vibe at all with who I am. I know myself when it comes to friendships. I now have a better understanding of who I am in friendships and relationships. And I feel good. I realize that it's not a matter of me being needy or desperate or any other adjective or negative adjective people use to describe you when you actually have a different need and you require a higher level of care. No. The thing about it is these people are not equipped to support you in a way that dignifies you, that makes you feel seen, that makes you feel full. They are empty. They have empty spirits, empty hearts. They can never pour into you in the way that you need them to because they just don't have it to give. And that's why the best thing you could do for any friendship is to pour into yourself and make sure you're full. Make sure your heart is full so that way you have something to pour and to offer. I think nowadays people don't have much to give. And I'm starting to realize that. And I think for years I expected so much more. I expected so much more from empty vessels, people that were just empty. And I think that when you expect things from empty vessels, you're going to always be disappointed. You're going to always be let down. So now I'm making my aim to fill up my cup and look for people whose cup is full. I want your cup full. I want your cup full not for only myself, but for you. I want you to be full. I want you to come full so you're not operating out of a spirit of resentment, jealousy, envy, So you can be happy for my success, and I don't have to constantly feel the need to apologize for my success just to appease you. No, I want you full. I want your cup full. I want that for you. Because when your cup is full, that means that you can pour into me comfortably without depleting yourself. And that's what I'm looking for, And so, once again, if you're out there on your journey, trying to definitely find the tribe that pours into you, trust and believe I'm with you on that journey. You're going to find that tribe. And the beautiful thing is that it's going to be so rewarding because you get to customize and design that tribe based on who you are. You're not going based on superficial pursuits like the clubs and parties, and you're not going based on that. You're going on whether or not this person can be with you during the darkest moments of your life. Can they hold you up? Can they uplift you? Can they also celebrate your joys? That's important too. Can they celebrate your successes and your victories? That's so important. We're always looking for the one who can help us in difficult times, but can they also be present for us and share with us and be happy for us in the good times? Because you got foul weather friends sometimes who are comfortable with being there for you only in difficult times. They thrive on your dysfunction. But the moment that you heal, the moment that you get better, the moment that you're doing better, somehow they feel uncomfortable with that. And so you need friends that can also help you when you're down and out, but also be happy for you when you are succeeding and you are thriving. So once again, I hope this video was so helpful to you. I know that it's been difficult this year. 2023 has been hard. A lot of people have been losing friendships left and right. And you know something? You have to take the time to examine your role in every one of your friendship terminations, and you have to take steps to correct it. You can't control another person, but you can control yourself and how you operate within these friendships. So I definitely wish everybody a wonderful healing journey. I know you'll definitely get there. You just got to take a moment to just pause, sit with yourself, examine your own role in all of your friendships and all of your relationships, and begin to move from a more enlightened place. So this is Lewis Speaks. If you like this video, please like, share, comment. I wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful 2023. Peace, y'all.